Welcome to the Allo.Capital podcast. If you're just joining us, we are doing seasons. This season, we are summoning Allo.Capital, a new spinout from Gitcoin that's designed to build the capital allocation layer of the next internet. There is big upside here. Capital allocation is a multi-trillion-dollar design space. VCs, governments, NGOs, and DAOs all have to allocate capital to solve their problems. But it's also a place where you can start small. Every time you spend money, you are allocating capital. We are threading a through line, partnering with builders, researchers, and funders to figure out what the next generation of capital allocation will look like post tokenization, post AI, and then building it on Ethereum. If you want to learn more, visit our website at Allo.Capital, where you can download the Allo books for free, play with some of our dApps, join the Telegram, or participate in the DAO. All right, today I have the Allo Ships session to play for you. Allo Ships is a weekly session in which we have builders in the Allo.Capital builder network show up and show off what kind of cool tools they are building for their customers. And so this is a session that I think is best watched on video. If you want to see the cool stuff that has been built in visual form, then definitely recommend checking out the YouTube channel. If you just go to YouTube and search for Allo.Capital, you'll find it. But today we have about 5 demos for you to show off of the cool stuff that's being built in and around the network. So I hope you enjoyed. So this is Allo Ships, and basically what I wanted to do here is create a container where we can show off what we've been doing over the last week, or maybe we'll do this once a week, maybe we'll do it once every other week, but just wanted to create a container where we can show off the software that we're creating. I really believe in momentum. I believe that momentum begets momentum, and so I really want to create a container where we can all ricochet off of each other and share ideas and ship great software at high speed. So I think that we're still exploring what that looks like, but Allo Ships will be a container through which we can do demos and show off what the network is capable of. So I'd be curious of the people here who has something to show off that they've done this week, and we can sort of work through those things. Michael, you want to show us Cookie Jar to start?
This is Cookie Jar. I think some of you may have seen this in the Everybody Ships call, but now it's ready. Now it is multi-token on multiple networks. And now I have the option to explore jars that already exist or create jars that don't exist. So basically backing up a little bit, the state of this app right now is it's ready to YOLO on OP. It's on all of the test nets like Base Sepolia, Sepolia, OP Sepolia, Alpha Hores. Don't know how to say that. And I also deployed it to Optimism, and it's somewhat basically is like ready to go. We just are finishing writing test coverage for all the smart contracts, so that should be done next week. And I have chatted with Owaki before this, and we are using the Cookie Jar in our co-working space, the Regen Hub, and we have some members that purchased things for our Boulder Startup Week events last week. So we're going to make a jar to be able to reimburse them on Optimism. Owaki, do you want to be the jar owner, or do you want me to be the jar owner?
What does the owner do? Do they fund?
You just have like admin, so you can like change the whitelist. And
Yeah, I'm happy to be the jar owner. Here, let me give you my address.
yeah, great. So I will copy this and paste it in here. Okay, cool. And so I am going to make it so we use USDC. So let me just go and get the token address from USDC, and I'll put it in here. And then this will be our Regen Hub Cookie Jar. And then we'll go through. This will be whitelist. In the future, we might add NFTs as a possible access control mechanism. And we have the option to do a fixed withdrawal or a variable withdrawal. I don't really see the point of fixed withdrawal personally, but some people do. So for a variable withdrawal, what do you think of like 150 is the max withdrawal?
Yeah, so Cookie Jar is a really useful way of allowing members of the space to withdraw money without having to ask for approval. And I think that the median thing that we're interested in prototyping here is like buying pizza and beer for the space. So I don't know, like $50 seems like a good amount. Yeah.
Okay, $50. And the withdrawal interval. So like anytime anyone makes a withdrawal of $50, then they have to wait a certain period of time until they can make a withdrawal again. So basically kind of a little bit of a mechanism to prevent abuse, even though it's ideally in a high trust environment. So
Let's do once a week, 7 days.
once a week. Okay, cool. All right. So we'll do that. And then I think we want to have a withdrawal reason. This basically requires people to enter a reason for their withdrawal. So then at a later point in time, we can come through and evaluate what people are doing, see if anyone's abusing it. So this is the transaction to create the jar. Don't ask about the stupid pill loading screen. Okay, so now the jar is created. And since Alaki is the admin, I don't have any admin access here, so I can send this link. And if Alaki wanted, he could go in and adjust the whitelist. And yeah, basically, so like here you can see the max withdrawal is 50 USDC. We don't have any funds in it right now. If anyone could go and fund it, so you basically just come in here and input how much you want to fund the jar, hit this donate now, and then it would ask you for token approval, and then you'd submit the transaction to actually fund it. And then you would have this in here. And then anyone who's on the whitelist would be able to come and make withdrawals. And then you can, like, if you're coming as a user who wants to find a jar you're whitelisted on, basically you have this screen and you can see, like, there would be a little icon over here I can show you. If you are whitelisted on it, or if you're an admin. So like here you can see on this jar, I'm whitelisted, I'm an admin. On a lot of these jars, I'm both. And then I can like filter if I want to see only jars I'm whitelisted on or admin on. Here they just happen to be the same. And yeah, I think that's a pretty basic idea. I would say if y'all want to use it right now, the like most up-to-date code is on dev.cookiejar.wgf. Then we'll merge it into main, so it'll just be cookiejar.wgf. And yeah, if you use it and so you encounter any issues, we made this little Telegram support chat, or you can email us if you want. And so yeah, please use it. Let us know if there's something that's missing or if something doesn't work. And yeah, that's about all. Yeah.
Thanks, Michael. We're out of time, and I want to move on to another demo. So, thank you for your demo. Excited to play with Cookie Jar. Excited to figure out how Allo.Capital can support it. For now, I think I'll use it in the Regen Hub. And Koi just joined, and I think Koi has plans to use Cookie Jar for Allo.Capital. So maybe y'all can discuss in Telegram or in the Google chat the next steps as we move on to the next demos.
Yeah, we've been chatting. So
All right, Carl, you're up. Show us Allocate.
All right, cool. Thanks. Share my screen. Do you see it?
Yep.
Great. So made some updates to Allocate and building it as a grants platform. So now pools are
Sorry, Carl. I just wanted to give everyone an overview of what Allocate is before we dive into this week's updates. So basically, it's tooling for doing grants campaigns at a very high level. Anything else you want to say about what it is before we dive into what you've done this week?
yeah, kind of like a collection of smart contracts, SDK, and components for building grants apps.
Okay, so it makes it easier to spin up a grants app, and maybe some derivation of it could be used in Gitcoin 24 now that we don't have Grant Stack. But we're sort of just exploring the design space.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Go ahead.
And we can now choose between multiple strategies that has been deployed and different configurations for the strategies. And there's there's an app for grantees also where they can just explore the pools, creating applications, importing from GrantStack.
Oh, interesting. So basically, if we use this for GG24, there's already a flow where you can pull in your grant from Grant Stack and migrate it over to this tool. Okay, interesting.
It should make it very easy to like import existing applications. And then we have components for like listing the applications for a pool. We have components for funding matching. And we can see a list of the recent contributions. See, we can also switch between the pools created very easily and approve the applications. And then we can see the pool here with the projects. We can add them to the shopping cart or the checkout. Oh, there we go. And then we can allocate tokens to it.
I see those live matching estimates being calculated right there. I know that's a feature
Live
I
match.
care a lot about.
Yeah, so like I say, we can see the live matching here. Add additional funding.
Just a 1 minute warning, Carl.
And then here we have the distribution table for the project and how many voters, how many people have actually voted for them.
So is that like a leaderboard? Like it's called distribution, but it's kind of like a leaderboard of projects and who's winning the round.
Yes, so it actually shows how many people have voted for the project and how much donations. Or actually, it shows the estimates for the matching funds.
Okay.
So we can distribute these matching funds here.
I love how clean and minimal the UI is.
Yeah.
It feels like clunky in a couple places, but like very minimalistic in general.
And here we can see the applications for the profile and the allocations, like tokens transferred, and idea for like using a search for searching for pools and projects. So right now it's like one part of it is the admin dashboard for like pool operators, pool managers, and the other is for apps. So this new version has a more distinction between these two different use cases.
Well, I think we're about running out of time, Carl. So anything to say as we wrap up?
That's it. If you have any question, please reach out to me on Telegram, or I think there's an Allocate Telegram group. That would be cool if we could see some activity there. If people are interested in like sharing thoughts or feedback or ideas or how we can co-create this.
Thanks, Carl.
Thanks everyone.
Can I get some snaps for Carl or emoji claps for Carl? Also for Michael, I forgot to prompt everyone for that when Michael demoed. Great work. So we don't have time since this is only a half-hour session for Q&A, but I'd encourage you all to reach out to Carl if you have questions. Carl, if you drop a link to the GitHub of your build and then also the Telegram support link, I think that would help people async from here. Who else has demos? I'm trying to focus on software and product and engineering demos for this call. I think in the future we might expand this out to writing and media and other types of things. But just want to make sure that we're showing off software builds in and around the Allo ecosystem from here. So please raise your hand if you have something to demo, and I will call on you. Umar, data counts. This is close enough to software for me that happy to give you the floor for 3 or 4 minutes. And go ahead, Umar.
I'll try to keep this really quick. I just want to hit on two things. One is about the data that's available for everyone in the Allo ecosystem. And then the second is how to get the most out of this dashboard, especially if you're building new apps or mechanisms. So this just went up yesterday. So everyone is seeing this for the first time. One, really cool to see that Allo has 16.571 million in total value flowed. And we haven't even been around that long. So that's pretty cool. Allo flows by mechanism, quadratic funding, 15.1 million, 91.2%. Total values flowed over time. I'm just going to skim through it and then I'll drop, I drop the link in chat so y'all can go in and spend more time on it as you want to. But yeah, quadratic funding has been pretty dominant. Macy and retro funding started coming up in the last year. And if you look on the left, you have the TVF by quarter by mechanism. And on the right, you have TVF by quarter and chain. And then as you scroll down, you can drill a little bit deeper, month in mechanism, month in chain, week in mechanism, week in chain, day in mechanism, day in chain. Really cool to see a retro funding round for 40K that came in 2 days ago. Funders and recipients. Some of our top funders, GetCoinGrants.eth, Vitalik.eth, top recipients, Edge City Denver, Jedi Swap, Yog Enfys, the death behind Munster, ETH.limo, Collis, who does Revoke Cash, new funders by month, new funding recipients by month, breakdowns by chain, token, and contract. And then really quick, the thing I want to cover for Allo builders is that this sheet linked at the top has the full list of contracts we track. There's about 58 contracts on this list. Most of them are factory contracts that are responsible for creating other contracts. And so if you're developing a new mechanism, one thing to really make sure you do is, I'm not sure what workflow, Waki and Rena, y'all want here. If people should come in and put in their contracts and label them in the sheet, or if y'all want to steward that process. But definitely as new mechanisms get created, if you add the contract address to the sheet, the dashboard will automatically trace all the children contracts created by that one and add them all to this dashboard, so that then you'll see other mechanisms on here as well. I know one I'd love to see on here is conviction voting, and I'm sure there are others too that I'm not aware of that should definitely be added. All right, that's my quick overview.
Thanks, Umar. What's your new company called?
Which one?
Oh,
Funny enough, 3 of them.
that's very Elon of you. I was fishing for context. I think it's cool that your name is Umar Khan and you're calling it context.
Thanks.
Yeah, so I'm excited to have data driving the Allo ecosystem. Just a couple notes about this. Allo used to be Allo Protocol. Now it's Allo.Capital. We've got sort of like a little bit more of a fuzzy definition of what the network is. And anytime we add a contract to that spreadsheet, it'll get tracked in your Dune dashboard. So what I would be interested in doing as we expand the network of Allo builders would be adding Cookie Jar and Allo IRL and other things that are being built in the ecosystem and tracking that and the total value flowed through that. And then I plan on voting in the conviction voting round and in other upcoming rounds on the basis of how much total value flowed is going through the different tools that we've built. So I'll be using this data to sort of orient around what are the most promising builds and who's up and coming in the ecosystem. And total value flowed isn't a perfect metric, but it's going to be the one that I start with, I think, in order to elevate the builds that I think are really good. So having data is going to just have a more grounded epistemology of how we decide what's what in the ecosystem. So thank you for that. Carrie, I think you've got the next demo. You wanna take us away?
Yeah, so I'll just share this. Let me know if you can hear the audio. This is from Christina here.
Hey everyone. I just wanted to share my updates. So I've been working on creating these 3 pages: resources, mechanisms, and networks. And here on the resources, we have the featured list, and then all the other resources / posts. Then we have the mechanisms. This is still work in progress in terms of
Carrie, would you mind pausing for just a
content. I
second?
need to
So I want to set some context. Christina is an engineer that we work with that is working to rework the Allo.Capital website. And what she's demoing here is we're going to be taking the Allo books and the Allo.expert mechanisms and a bunch of other useful resources and actually spotlighting them on the website. So this is a rebuild of the Allo.Capital website that Christina is showing off a demo of. Just wanted to add that context so people know what they're looking at. Carrie, you want to go ahead and press play again?
migrate all the mechanisms from Allo experts. And the next step will be implementing the designs. So I just wanted to mention this. And the network, which can be of type person or project. And then here we have the content. We are also displaying related content, which can be a mechanism, resource, or network. And this one, for example, is only related to one mechanism. And these, I know it doesn't look very pretty yet, but I was focusing on functionality first. These are being customized from our Sanity dashboard, which is what I set up here. And you can see these are all custom components: call to action and links list, for example. And we can see those being displayed. And same for mechanisms. This can be customized here. And resources. Same, I can create a links list and I will call it learn more. And I can create.
Can we pause again? So I think everyone's kind of got the gist in what we're doing. We're going to have a great new updated website. We're going to be publishing a ton more on Allo.Capital itself and with our shiny new branding. And we're doing some things in the background that we're going to continue to iterate on. So this first version itself is going to be kind of very simplistic approach, and then moving forward into some more interesting things and ways that we can support the network and the builders and the mechanisms that we're using, including some of the stuff that Kumar's done in terms of data.
Yeah, so thanks for that context, Rena. And thanks, Christina, who couldn't be here for that demo. The new website looks pretty tight. I've got the Figma designs in front of me, and I'm really excited about a future in which we can publish world-defining research, category-defining research straight on our website. And I think there'll probably be a progression of demos and calls like these to actual like full case study on the website that we put in our marketing materials, and we're fishing out to high net worth clients and NGOs and, you know, people who would use these kind of tools. So the website will be the epicenter of that. So it's definitely important work. Any questions, or would be happy to just break into discussion? Looks like Gustavo, you've got your hand up.
A ship to demo if I have the time. 3
Oh,
minutes.
is it software?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, let's do like 3 or 4 minutes and then break into Q&A from there.
Nice. So we've been actually building Collabberry for the last 6 months. This is not something that has been built in this last week, but basically what we are focusing on right now is a lot of bug fixing. In the meanwhile, I'm just singing these MetaMask messages here. So Collabberry is a tool for allocating resources for contributors within an organization in a transparent and fair way. We are going to go what fairness means in our context in a bit. So this is just a dashboard, my personal dashboard, which shows me how much fiat I have received, how much team points. Team points is a form to measure. It's kind of an equity token. It's sweat equity, what people, the labor that people are putting into organization, and how we are rewarding that when we don't have enough fiat because we haven't made that money yet. So we can see here how much we have distributed here. There are like each team points represent $1 of sweat invested. There are few multipliers that are involved, but if I have time, I can share that later. So first of all, how this works is like once we have a team of people committing to do some work together, we enable them to build these agreements where people state the roles and responsibilities, how much time they are committing to this work, how much money they are receiving for this work, and what is their market rate? Like, what is the cost opportunity? If I will be working in another company, how much I will be earning. Then there is this assessment round that you won't see anything because we don't have an assessment working at the moment, meaning that at the end of the month, we have a period of 7 days where to assess people, but I'm actually will be able to show you what is the result. Let's go to the first assessment that I received with this tool, where people are scoring me. They're giving me like work score, how well I performed in my roles and responsibility, culture score, like how are my vibes of working together with me. And people have this chance to tell me what I did well and what I could improve. At the end of that, we aggregate all of this data, and each month, like people will be receiving, according to the formula, I won't go into detail, an amount of team points that will be added month by month to this total team point balance. And this is our way to bring fairness because we are aggregating the intersubjective ways of valuing people contribution into a single and close to objective metric like these team points. So I think I'm there on time. There are more things, settings, multipliers, manual allocations, material contributions with different multipliers. But yeah, the product can be a bit more context. But again, I don't want to jump over my time here.
Thanks, Gustavo. So yeah, I'm wondering if there's an opportunity for Allo to demo Collabberry or play with it in a dog foodie type way. This definitely helps show off the context. So thanks for the demo. Cool. Hey, Rena. So yeah, I mean, I think that our intention is to use this Allo Ships time slot as a way of showing off what we've shipped week over week. And I want it to be a place where we can build awareness of all the cool stuff that's happening in and around Allo.Capital from a software perspective. Open questions for me from here are, do we want to do this every week or every other week? Do we want to open it up to our friends who are doing research and writing and not just software and engineering? I think it could be interesting to show off the most interesting research in the network. But the key thing for me is that momentum begets momentum, and that when you see others shipping, I think it adds energy for you to be shipping. And so I really want to create a network that has a fast clock speed and is iterating towards the coolest stuff out there. Anything to say as we wrap up the first Allo Ships, Rena?
No, I think that's great. I think that given what we're working on our side of things, having some of the writing and sharing that context and the design space and in creating capital allocation mechanisms could be really useful. Especially as these projects continue to grow and we can share like some of the research and like the data that Umar shared, and improve on that as well.
Heard. All right, well, we're out of time. The recording from this will be posted on the Illuminati podcast, and looking forward to showing off what we've done this time next week. So start thinking about what you all want to demo next week, and I'll see you on Telegram in the meantime. Thanks, everyone. Alrighty, we just heard from the Allo ecosystem builders. I'm excited about the velocity of software that I'm seeing built in and around the network, and excited about Allo.Capital as a attractor for these types of builders and hopefully an accelerator. Again, thank you for listening. We are featuring the people who are building the capital allocation layer of the next generation of the internet. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.